So PETA is back at it again. They are tweeting a bunch of things that are honestly pretty dumb and I think don't help their cause. I really think it makes people do the opposite thing of what they want, but you know, whatever. It's PETA. They're not good at their job, okay? First of all, they're massive hypocrites, okay? They have killed people's pets before. PETA is not a good organization. They just aren't, okay? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm in the same boat. I don't like animal cruelty, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, animal cruelty is the worst thing in the world and then kill people's dogs, okay? I'll just say animal cruelty is bad, okay? That's all you gotta say, PETA. I'm pretty sure everyone would be on board if you just said animal cruelty is a bad thing. We all agree with that. We all do. But PETA turns it up to 11 and is like, oh, if you eat bacon, you are going to hell with Hitler, okay? But I think they got a new social media manager or something because they've been tweeting a lot, okay? It's like hundreds of tweets within the last month, I believe. They've been tweeting a lot, and a lot of the tweets they've made are pretty stupid. Like this one about being anti-speciesist. A rat deserves to live as much as your dog or cat. You're not gonna get anybody on board with this. You're just not. Most people believe rats are pretty disgusting. And I don't like rats personally. I'm not a huge rat fan. I don't hate rats. I just don't like them. And I don't go out of my way to kill rats because that is deranged. But if I'm gonna sit here and be like, well, I gotta choose between my dog or a rat, I'm killing the rat, okay? If it's a choice I have to make, the rat's dead. It's that easy. And also, this is about testing things on animals, and I agree there's some weird practices with that, but at the same time, we're not gonna test new drugs on people. We're just not gonna do that. And we're not gonna test makeup products on people. We're just not gonna do that. There are so many things that we're not gonna do to people that we would do to rats because we do see rats as inferior beings, and they are inferior beings. Like, there's debates if they're even like sentient or conscious. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, rats are us. They're just like us, guys. Rats are just like you and me. It is a massive stretch. I don't think anybody is ever going to view a rat the same as a dog or cat because they're rodents. They're literally pests. Okay, nobody really likes rats unless you have pet rats, and in that case, they're a little bit different. But people are not going to be defending rats, okay? And you can't just be like, well, you're anti-speciesist, so you should join our cause because you're bad if you don't. That's not going to work. You're not going to convert people to your cause by telling them they're bad people, and this is why. It's just not going to happen. Because people who believe this don't think they're bad people. I don't think you're a bad person if you see rats as a lesser life form than a dog. I just don't. Like, there's lots of reasons to think rats are worse than dogs. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot of reasons you can think that. And them trying to pull your heartstrings with rats isn't even the worst thing they've done recently in terms for their own cause. They tried to get on this bandwagon that like fish for some reason are like really, really intelligent animals and we shouldn't be killing fish. And from my perspective, fish are probably the most ethical piece of meat to consume because I think they're just stupid. I don't see a world where fish are super intelligent. Now, if we're gonna be talking about like dolphins or like whales, yeah, they're intelligent, but a fish. You're telling me a rainbow trout is a really intelligent animal, really? Because these dudes bite fish hooks constantly. They never learn. So I'm going to assume that they're not super intelligent. You'd think if they were super intelligent animals, they would kind of learn that, like, the fish hooks are bad. You know, all their friends seem to get swept up by the fish hooks. Like, it's just like that SpongeBob episode. It literally is. It's just like the SpongeBob episode where Patrick goes to chews on the cheese, okay? But they made this tweet, fish are skillful animals. They use rocks as tools, learn by watching their friends, and communicate using sounds that humans can't hear. They are individuals just like you, and they want to be left alone. I'm sure they want to be left alone, but, like, can they actually think that they want to be left alone? Is it, like, a conscious thought they have? Because, like, this is where you get in the weeds of, like, consciousness and stuff, but it's like, I don't consider them, like, super conscious, or maybe sentient is the right word. I don't think fish are aware that they're fish. I don't think they think. I think they are an animal that exists and does things in accordance to, like, what their brain tells them to do. I don't think they have, like, a conscious experience with, like, oh, I'm alive and I'm a fish and I swim. I don't think they have that. I just don't. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that they don't have that, but like from my perspective, they don't have that. So I just don't think they are quote unquote individuals. They're fish and fish that can use tools. I have not really seen this a whole lot. I've seen it a few times, but not a lot. And I'm willing to bet most fish are not intelligent at all. I really don't think they are. And I think most people look at fish and they're like, wow, this is like the dumbest thing alive. So going after fish for trying to push like veganism or something is such a weird thing to push for. Like, I think if you really want to get people on board with going vegetarian or like vegan or whatever, allowing for the consumption of fish is probably the best route because I think fish is like universally liked by most people. There's at least some kind of fish that people generally like. Some people just say no to all fish, but you know, a lot of people like salmon and they don't eat anything else. But making the argument to not eat a cow is a lot easier than a fish, okay? Because look at a cow. A cow is cute, okay? They're like big dogs. But a fish, this thing is ugly, okay? This thing is not cute at all. and it just looks stupid. It goes glub glub and swims in the water. Okay. We do not respect fish at all. We respect cows to some extent. That's why you actually can get, you know, people behind protecting cows and pigs and stuff, because they are intelligent and you can see that and you can interact with them in that way. But fish just look stupid. They don't look smart. They don't interact with you in the same way. And they're just fish. Okay, like they're just fish. Nobody really cares about fish like that. Okay, I shouldn't say nobody likes fish like that, because I know some people who really take good care of fish and have them in a really nice fish tank and stuff. But at the same time, I don't think those fish really appreciate it. I don't really think they care. I think they're just fish and they exist. Like the people who have the really nice tanks and stuff, I think they really care about the fish, but I also don't think the fish like care back. I don't think it's a mutual agreement or relationship. I think the fish just kind of exist and swim along in the little tank that they have, because they're fish. they're just fish. And those two things weren't even the worst of their recent tweets. They also tweeted, "Don't support cruelty to corcoros. Celebrate hashtag National Video Game Day with these tips and how to kindly transport them in Zelda." Bro, it is a video game. You cannot be telling me to not support animal cruelty and then cite a video game. They did this a while ago too with Minecraft, I'm pretty sure. And they made some argument that it was like animal cruelty in game or something. And it's like, there's no cruelty. Nothing's being hurt. And it's like the best way to get people against your cause is to do this, okay? Like when you virtue signal this hard, people are gonna stop caring about your cause. And may I also remind you that PETA has committed basically crimes on numerous occasions. They are not a good organization in so many different ways. Like their own behavior is terrible, and the way they advocate for things is also pretty terrible. Like this isn't gonna convince anybody of anything. Like, why am I going to take you seriously about animal cruelty when you're talking about cruelty in a video game? This is like making an argument as to why war crimes are bad, and then you cite Call of Duty as a war crime. Like, that is the equivalent here. It's not the same thing. It is just genuinely insane to cite Zelda as a source for why animal cruelty is bad. It's a video game, bro. Like, the average person who sees this is gonna think you're insane. They're never gonna take you seriously at all. Like, if I see a bunch of real things about why animals are bad in the PETA Twitter page, but then I see this and I'm like, wait, were any of those real? Or did they just make those up? Because it's like, if you're going to be as unhinged as saying that Zelda causes animal cruelty or something, people are going to take you way less seriously about everything else you say, because they have demonstrated that they are unhinged. So if anybody from PETA happens to be listening to this video, for your own sake and for the sake of all the animals around the world that you want to protect, stop being so unhinged, okay? You're not doing any favors for animals by doing this. The #1 advocacy group that everyone knows about for animal cruelty are unhinged lunatics. How do you think that helps animals? The answer is it doesn't help animals at all. It just puts them in a worse spot, because the #1 group trying to do anything about it are a bunch of clowns. That's pretty much been the video. Like and subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter @Spattins1, and leave a comment down below of what you think about PETA. You know, all of PETA's little shenanigans too. If you remember something that PETA has done that I didn't, please leave in the comments down below. I'm sure there's something awful that I forgot about. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Click the answer just now, and have a good one.